guys, Ash here coming at you today with another Raid Shadow Legends Champion Guide. Welcome to the video, guys. Glad to have you here because we're going to talk about the big fella, Urost the Soulcage. This dude is a monster, does not get the credit that he deserves, in my opinion, because he has more versatility for so many players than just a solo champion. However, he's still one of the best, if not the best, solo champions in the game as well. Today, we're going to talk about him. We're going to talk a little bit about his tandem partners from Doom Tower. Actually, let's just start there. I have the list here pulled up, thanks to Yumi Love, of all the normal and hard champions on Doom Tower. I want to ask you guys, first off, where are you? How far along have you progressed on Doom Tower Normal and Doom Tower Hard? It will help me actually inform, the type of guides that I do here on the channel. This is the first Doom Tower Secret Room champion that we're doing here on this channel. But if a lot of you guys have unlocked, quite a few of these champions, we can kind of get to them earlier. Or if not, we can kind of put them off for a little bit. Anyway, if you see here on the normal track, we have Archmage Helmet, a beast, and then Akoth the Seared and Ryan the Conjurer, as well as the second champion on the hard is Urost the Soulcage. So they all have kind of tandem abilities. It's kind of a trio of champions. It's not OP when you put them together, but well, let's just take a look at them really quickly. But if you put them together, they're actually a really solid, they complement each other's skills fairly well, even without the tandem abilities that they do have. So really quickly, Ryan the Conjurer, I really like Ryan. I think an incredibly underrated champion out there, a revival on a 4-turn cooldown. If you target a normal champion other than Akoth or Urost, it's going to revive them with block bust, 50% HP, 50% turn meter, right? If they're on the same team and they're not the target, they're also going to get revived with 30% HP and 30% turn meter. It's not the best revival, but it's a nice little bonus, I guess, right? If they are the target, they're going to get the original 50% HP and 50% turn meter. Ryan, a good, versatile champion too. A buff removal at 100% clip on a 3-turn cooldown, along with a big version of Weaken there on the A2. And then we have Akoth the Seared. Again, an epic champion. What am I doing? I'm click hungry today. I'm click happy today. All right, where is it? Right in front of my face? There it is. Akoth the Seared. So he has the same kind of big boy build as our man Urost, the Soulcage. He has on his ability an HP burn, chance of placing the HP burn increased by 20% for each enemy alive. So that's really beneficial again against Spider. And then he has an instantly activates his A3 ability, which increased the cooldown of all skills on enemies under HP burn with a shield when he's revived by Ryan the Conjurer, okay? And then it brings us to Urost the Soulcage. I'm going to start with his kind of tandem ability as well. Similar to Akoth the Seared, on his A2, it will instantly activate this skill if revived by Ryan the Conjurer. So not only are they being revived in addition to the other target, but it's also going to instantly activate their A2 or A3 respectively between the two champions. So actually a pretty fun trio. I really like them. Again, not OP or anything like that, but now let's focus in on Urost the Soulcage and talk about what makes him so amazing. He's a Void Legendary, and in my opinion, he is certainly warranted of a Void Legendary status. You can't pull him from shards either, which is kind of nice. That way you don't have to worry about dupes since you're already getting him from Doom Tower. Anyway, on his A1, first of all, base stats, a lot of HP, scales very well, which is great. He's an HP-based champion. Attacks one enemy, places a shield on this champion equal to 10% of this champion's max HP for 2 turns. The shield value increases by 1% for each poison debuff on the target. Cool. On the A2 ability, Fetid Eruption. On a 3-turn cooldown, attacks all enemies. 100% chance of decreasing the turn meter of enemies by 15% on enemies with 1 or more poison. Okay, it keeps escalating here. If they're under 2 or more poisons, we get the big version of decreased speed on all enemies. If they're under 3 or more poisons, we stun all enemies. This is a 100% rate on a 3-turn cooldown. So you put them on a nice poison team, even in Doom Tower, right? Doom Tower floors, you can put them with Ryan the Conjurer. You can put them with, name your poison champion, Tomb Lord, right? You're going to be stunning. You're going to be decreased speeding as well. And you're going to be decreasing turn meter. It's a great control ability. And this is why I said to open the video, there's more than meets the eye on this champion. Listen, again, not going to see him on endgame speed teams. But for the majority of people watching right now, progression players, you can get a lot of utility out of this A2 ability. Soul Bounty, big version of Strengthen, and Ally Protect, big version, both on a 3-turn cooldown. Fantastic. Talk about damage mitigation for your team. The big Strengthen and the big Ally Protect, it doesn't get any better than that. You're circumventing 50% of damage allies would receive with Ally Protect, and then 25% damage mitigation just off the top with Strengthen. That's a lot of support carried by this champion. Now check out this amazing, amazing passive. When attacked, has a 75% chance when booked of placing a poison debuff on the attacker for 2 turns. When an ally is attacked while under a Strengthen, which he has on a 3-turn cooldown, has a 50, make it 75% chance to place a provoke debuff on the attacker for 1 turn. That makes him viable instantly in even Hydra, you know, as a support champion and a champion who's going to be placing decreased speed, champion who's going to be placing basically decreased speed. There we go. Champion's going to bring the strength and the ally protect, not to mention all the rest of the goodies here in provoke. Increases champion's max HP by 5%. Whenever an enemy receives damage from a poison debuff placed by this champion, okay? And he's already placing, when attacked, 75% chance of placing a poison debuff on the attacker for 2 turns. Now, another thing to notice before we keep reading on, there's no cooldown on this ability. If he's attacked with like a triple hitter, he's going to place 3 poisons on, or have a chance at placing 3 poisons on the attacker. It happens every time he is hit by an attack. Not once a turn or anything like that, okay? Now, down to here. Whenever an enemy receives damage from a poison debuff placed by this champion, all those also destroys their max HP by 5%. Cannot destroy a single champion's max HP more than 25% in one battle. Will not destroy a boss's max HP. And cannot increase his champion's max HP by more than 50%. Well, 50 freaking percent is a ton, right? So if we build him with 100k HP, which is fairly easy to get to because it scales so well, he's going to be really, in a matter of, a few turns, whatever, eventually he's going to get to 150k HP. That's massive, okay? So he's bringing a lot to the table here on this passive. He also has resist in all battles by 80 and a fantastic, fantastic resist aura. The only champion that has anything, to my knowledge, that comes anywhere close to this is Frogman, Taragi the Frog. When attacked, has a 50% chance of placing a poison debuff on the attacker for 2 turns, occurs once per hit. So not 75% chance, but you can still do some things, even if you don't have Urost the Soulcage, which, why you watching? If not, maybe you just want to chat some Raid Shadow Legends. In which case, welcome to the video. I'm glad to have you either way. You can use Taragi the Frog in a similar way. He also brings Ally Protect on a 3-turn cooldown. So very similar kit, but also a lot of differences. Not quite as good as Urost, but again, he's not a Void Legendary either. He's one of the better epics out there in the game. So let me go ahead and show you how I have him built. And I want to talk, I'm not going to show you another build for him, but I'm going to talk about it, right? It's pretty easy to follow along here. This is a solo build for Scarab King. Now, my thing is if you have Urost Soulcage, you're probably going to want to use him to solo Scarab King because it's kind of an annoying boss to deal with otherwise, unless you already have a team ready to go with like Cold Heart and Destroy Gear, whoever you're using, Armiger, Scrapper, whatever you're doing. In which case, you have a lot of flexibility with Urost Soulcage. Now, he's great in every dungeon. I want to pull him up right now on Hell Hades website because look at this. This is an area where I absolutely agree with this. I mean, look at his ratings, guys. Look at how versatile he is. Doom Tower floors, Hydra clan boss, regular clan boss for the passive on those poisons. Fantastic option for regular clan boss. Spider, Dragon, Ice Golem, Iron Twins, Eternal. Oh, I'm not going to read them all, but you guys see. You can basically use him anywhere as a support champion or through that passive, right? You can even solo Frost Spider with this champion. How you do that is you run him with Lydia if you have her, and she will ignore the revive of the, block the revive, even though we don't have the HP burn on the team that can duo Frost Spider. So there's a lot of different ways you can use this champion. Most ways you can still use him in a regen, in Immortal, either way. So this is why I prefer this build, and this is the build that I keep him in. The other build that I do want to talk about, though, if you want to be able to solo or duo content, such as, later stages of Ice Golem, you'll want to run him probably in a Toxic set to just get that extra damage out of him, maybe a Toxic and an Immortal set. And I think you'll probably be, running quite a bit faster with those poisons, similar to like an Ultimate Death Knight type build. Anyway, in this build today, guys, let's start with the Masteries here. We have him, there's so many different ways you can do the Masteries on this champion. We have him in War Master to get a little bit extra damage and make these runs go just a little bit faster, okay? But it's not necessary to run War Master. If you want to, you can come down the defense tree. Heck, you can even land on Unshakable to get extra resistance to resist some of the debuffs. However, he actually does a really good job even with debuffs landing on him, which you'll see in today's video. You can also go down the support tree and pick up Eagle Eye if you need extra accuracy. You do need accuracy, obviously, to land all the debuffs, not just from the A2, but also from that passive, the poisons, right, and the provoke. So support tree, I do highly recommend picking up both Rapid Response, 30% chance to increase the turn meter by 10% when a buff cast by this champion is removed or expires, and Arcane Celerity has a 30% chance of doing the same thing when a debuff cast by this champion is removed or expires. But having both of those on this kit where he's putting out a lot of buffs and debuffs, it's going to be a lot of turn meter increase. Never sleep on both of those masteries on your support champions or on any champion who's landing debuffs and buffs, right? We came down most importantly as well to grab Master Hexer and the Sniper ability, taking that poison up to an 80% chance of landing off that passive. Furthermore, having a chance of extending the duration of said poisons with Master Hexer. So those are the masteries, guys. I will say also an option would be Oppressor. Increases the turn meter fill rate by 2.5% for each active debuff cast by this champion, stacks up to 10%. So that's another option for you guys. As I said, plenty of ways to build this champion. Okay, so in terms of artifacts, we're just going for HP and accuracy. That's pretty much it. A little bit of speed. We don't have anything crazy in terms of the speeds on this champion. Accuracy on the banner. If you can get away with it, go HP on the banner and get accuracy as substats if you can get enough of it, right? Depending on where you are in the game. We went HP with some nice accuracy on the amulet, and then we went HP again on the ring. We went speed on the boots. I recommend speed on the boots on this champion. They're crappy boots, but who cares? Did get some HP out of them. Let's see if we can go ahead and, do I have HP? Yeah, let's go ahead and bump it up a little bit there. Every percent counts on this champion, right? So we have speed on the boots, we have HP percentage, obviously, on the chest, and HP percentage on the gauntlets. And again, looking for some speed, looking for some accuracy, looking for some HP on our substats here on regeneration and immortal. So we're getting that extra healage every single turn. We're getting the heals by 15% on the regen, and then another 3% from the immortal, let alone the extra HP from that set bonus. So there we go, guys. Total stats are going to be 101k on the HP, 189 on the speed, and then 379 on the accuracy. Those are the stat priorities on this champion. For blessings, we do have Brimstone on him. Again, having a chance of placing Smite is going to be even better. It's going to make the run go a little bit faster. Plus, you get that juicy 5,000 HP. So I would recommend going with Brimstone if you're lucky enough to get a blessing on this champion. All right, guys, let's go ahead and show you. I want to... This is a stupid thing to be showing you guys. I'm just going to call myself out. But I just love the new Dragon's Lair experimenting with like funky poison teams. I've been like trying so many different champions. Listen, I could run this team so much faster by putting in like instant activators more than just Theodore. Like I could run an Eleanoril or a Xavia. But I just like watching these champions all synergize together. We have Tomb Lord, he has poisons. We have Noct, he has the... whenever heals this champion by 3% of his max HP and allies by 1% of this champion's max HP every single time a poison ticks on an enemy. We have Corvus, who has decreased the damage enemies under poison inflict 5% per poison, and they're both bringing poisons as well. So this team is all about poisons, and we're running Urost in the lead. So I thought I would just show you something a little bit fun, but I think that the cool thing about to point out, I'm going to put it on auto just for a second here. I want to make sure we want to make sure that we at least demonstrate the power of his... I forgot what this guy is doing on every ability. There we go. The power of his A2 ability, right? So he's going to go last on this team. So check this out. We're going to use this A2, and we're going to be stunning everybody. We're going to be decreasing speed. Well, you guys can see. Everybody is... Okay. Why don't we stun them? Were they full on debuffs? You know what? They were full on debuffs. My bad on that. That was a poor example there. If they have 10 debuffs, we're not going to be able to do anything. But what we should have done there is place decreased speed, decrease their turn meter, and stun them. Great illustration there, Ash. You're really showing the people what you want here. All right, let's go. Hopefully he'll come back around on the next wave, and we can land those stuns and illustrate the power of his A2 ability, because his A2 and his A3 both, they're tremendous abilities on this champion. They're really, really make him so much more than a solo champion, even though, again, that's definitely what he's known for. So let's go ahead and see this second wave in real-time speed here, or I should say 2 times speed, I guess. So now there's plenty of poisons. Don't fill up that. We did it again. We did it again. We filled up the debuff bar, guys. Too many poisons on this squad, man. So the cool thing is half this team will probably die when we get to the dragon. I don't know, maybe they won't. But I've ran teams before where most of the team dies, and he's just like the last man standing, just placing poisons and regenning himself off of his passive, right? So who knows what we'll see when we get to the Dragon Hard 10, but we will show it nonetheless. So then after this, we'll show a typical Scarab King run with this champion, but I hope that, we've talked enough about his skills for you guys to really pick up what I'm putting down in terms of this champion's, like, he's a very special dude, right? He brings a lot of support. Again, you're seeing the ally protect, you're seeing the strengthen that he's bringing right now. Look at all those poisons. Watch how fast this dragon is going to go down. It's going to be a lot of poisons going off here. And you probably haven't seen it, but look at all those heals, guys. That's all knocked the paralyzer. All those heals every single time a poison ticks on an enemy. It's pretty crazy. His total heals that he's going to be bringing to the table, you guys are going to be like, whoa, that's pretty crazy. I think that Noct and Corvus are both really fun champions, so expect guides on them fairly soon. I want to say within the next month or two here on the channel on both those champions. I've been getting a lot of requests for Corvus in particular, so probably him in the next few weeks. All right, so let's see. Ooh, a mythical. Crit rate, yeah. I mean, crit rate, crit damage is cool, but I'm not going to use Frost Gear. All right, so Urost puts out 2.2 million. Not bad. I mean, not bad at all, considering he's not built to be like a nuker just off those passives, right? And then we have, you guys can see the rest, but look at that, 2 million heals on Noct the Paralyzer. No big deal. No big deal, Noct, off that what we showed you, that passive on him. So let me go ahead and bring you over to Doom Tower. Doom Tower hard, floor 100. The highest level of Scarab King we can go against here. Let's get these guys out of here. I'm just going to put Trunda on the team. I don't think we really need the resist, but we also don't need the attack. I'm going to put Trunda just to help clear the waves, and I'll come back to you guys once we get to the Scarab King. Be right back. All right, guys, here we go. Here is Urost the Soulcage in action. You can see that Smite debuff obviously going to help quite a bit there. And the poisons just get the job done, right? We don't even care about the max HP bar on this run. We just do our thing. And basically by this time, you can see all the Call of the Cage passives. Keep in mind, we're also adding HP in the process. I mean, we're so good. His HP literally never gets below around 75%. All he has to do is take a turn, he heals right back up. The Scarab King does not do enough damage, despite the decreased speed, despite all the debuffs that he's throwing on us. We're just going to keep placing our poisons, and it's as easy as that. He really makes this boss so easy, so simple, and it frees up your other champions. So if you have a bunch of champions tied up in destroy gear, maybe you don't really want that for other areas of the game, you can free up those champions, put them in whatever sets that you want once you unlock Urost the Soulcage, and just run him, and he's a one-man wrecking crew. He can take care of Scarab King, put him with any nuker for the waves, and you'll be absolutely a-okay. I'll come back to you guys when this run is over. We'll call it a video. All right, guys, so the Scarab King is just about dead. Obviously, again, on the smite, on the whatchamacallit, brimstone, it's a nice to have, but certainly not necessary. Again, his health never moves, so it might take you another 30 seconds or a minute or whatever, but you'll still get the job done. That's what really counts. So Urost, is doing what he does, man. That's the power of regeneration, immortal, and Urost the Soulcage, guys. I hope you enjoyed this guide. Thanks for watching all the way till the end. Let me know if you have any champion requests in the comments below, and as always, take care, guys.